Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so right now, there is this massive, absolutely undeniable excitement around artificial intelligence. I mean, everyone wants in, right? But we're facing a massive AI adoption paradox. Despite all of this incredible enthusiasm, a staggering number of organizations are just struggling. They aren't getting any real, tangible value from their implementations. They buy the flashy tools, they make the big, splashy announcements, but that actual day-to-day transformation, it just isn't happening. So today, we're going to decode exactly why that is, and much more importantly, how you can actually fix it. Jumping right to the heart of the issue. Why do so many businesses actually struggle with AI adoption? If you're a leader or a manager watching this right now, chances are you're feeling this operational friction firsthand. You might have the new software, the fancy platforms, and this top-down mandate to use AI, but it just feels clunky, kind of forced. Well, here's the thing. The struggle usually isn't a technical failure. The algorithms, they're working perfectly fine. The real reason organizations are hitting a brick wall is that they're moving entirely too quickly without preparing operationally. They're literally sprinting toward the finish line before they've even built the track. And we really have to face a stark reality here. It is not the technology that's failing us, it's the strategy. Or, well, actually, scratch that. It's the complete lack of a strategy. So many organizations focus heavily, almost exclusively really, on the tools themselves. They obsessed over which platform has the absolute best features, and in doing so, they completely ignore the foundational elements that actually make technology work inside a business. They ignore their workflow structure, they bypass operational clarity, they completely forget about clear communication. Look, adopting advanced technology before improving your underlying systems, that is just a recipe for disaster. Which brings us to Section 1, the chaos of hype. Things get genuinely frantic for businesses out there, mostly because of this immense pressure to just keep up with competitors. Companies are falling into this hype-driven approach, basically what we call speed without structure, literally just so they don't look like they're falling behind. It's pure FOMO. But rushing adoption just to tick a box, that causes massive confusion. You end up with duplicated systems, teams paying for 3 different tools that do the exact same thing. It leads to total operational overload. On the flip side, a strategy-driven approach creates sustainable transformation. Operational readiness actually matters here. You simply cannot skip the structural foundation if you want the technology to, actually last. Let's look at how this chaos actually manifests day to day with some of the most common missteps we see. First off, implementing way too many tools all at once. This completely overwhelms the staff for sure. Second, unclear transformation goals, which basically means nobody actually knows what success looks like. Third, disconnected workflows. That's when your shiny new AI doesn't even talk to your legacy systems. Fourth, totally unrealistic expectations. I mean, you can't expect a basic out-of-the-box chatbot to suddenly fix a fundamentally broken customer service pipeline. No way. And finally, poor leadership alignment. Look, if top executives aren't on the exact same page about why this is even happening, the whole shebang is doomed. Rushed adoption like this just creates an immense operational overload for the actual people trying to do the actual work. So, the absolutely crucial point here is this: fragmented systems reduce AI's value, period. Think about it. If your business operations are already a disconnected mess, introducing a highly advanced AI tool is not going to magically bridge the gap. Adopting technology before improving your systems usually just creates more complexity instead of efficiency. You're really just slapping a shiny new layer of fragmentation right on top of your existing operational mess. You don't get a magically streamlined future, you just get a much more expensive, much more complicated present. I want us to actually slow down for a second right here and really absorb this next point. AI should support business objectives, not distract from them. This is such a powerful pivot from all that reactive chaos we just talked about to proactive clarity. Seriously, if your team is spending more time trying to figure out how to even use the AI tool than they are actually serving clients or building products, the AI has become a massive distraction. It's totally lost its purpose. Technology has to serve the objective, always. Moving right along to Section 2, strategy as the anchor. Because without a strong strategy, implementation is really just putting out fires instead of, actually building the house. Priorities blur and operational consistency just weakens. So what does successful adoption actually look like? Well, successful businesses do 4 things very, very differently. First, they start with clear business problems. They don't start with a shiny new tool, they start with a real pain point. Second, they improve workflows first. They literally clean up the mess before automating it. Third, they align leadership and teams, so every single person knows the goal. And fourth, they implement gradually, with operational visibility. They take it step by step so they can actually see what is working and what isn't. Transformation becomes structured rather than just reactive. And that brings us to Section 3, a blueprint for success. Listen, if you're a leader, a manager, or just someone who's been tasked with making AI work in your department, you have the power to fix this strategy. You can take control right now by focusing on some super practical starting points. Step 1. Are your current processes actually documented and understood? That's evaluating your operational clarity. Step 2. Look really closely and ask, which specific workflows are creating friction right now for your employees? Step 3. Where in your business are you kind of flying blind, suffering from weak visibility? And step 4, ask yourself strictly, how will AI improve the business practically? Remember, AI has to be mapped to specific existing problems. Answering these questions first consistently creates vastly better outcomes. So, to summarize the foundational elements required for sustainable AI transformation, just remember this simple rule of 4. Success requires clarity, knowing exactly what problems you're actually trying to solve. Alignment, ensuring that leadership and the teams using the tools are moving in the exact same direction. Readiness, doing that unglamorous, behind-the-scenes work of fixing your workflows before plugging an algorithm into them. And structure, rolling out the technology gradually, methodically, and with really clear metrics for success. At the end of the day, most AI adoption failures are not caused by bad technology. They're caused by weak operational strategy. Which leaves us with one final incredibly important question to guide your next steps. I want you to look at your own company, your own team, your own daily tasks, and ask, what operational problems actually need solving before you adopt AI? Don't buy the hype until you have built the house. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this breakdown of the AI adoption paradox useful, definitely take this question back to your team and start the conversation today. Keep learning, keep structuring, and I'll see you next time.